Charlotte Mason once said, "If mothers could learn to do for themselves what they do for their children when these are overdone, we should have happier households. Let the mother go out to play." Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Joni and I blog over at simplelivingmama.com, and there and here on this channel I love to help moms simplify life, home, and homeschool. And in today's video I want to talk about something that has become really special for me and is really kind of essential for me as a mom as well. And this is going to be my mother culture routine. Or in simpler terms, you could just call it my mother's quiet time. This is something that helps to nourish me with different ideas and fill my cup. And I hope that today, by me sharing how I do all of this, that it will inspire you to have a little mother culture routine for yourself as well. So the term mother culture is often related to the Charlotte Mason philosophy of home education. And I actually did a video a while back on the book Mother Culture by Karen Andriola and how mother culture relates to the homeschool mom and how it can help a homeschool mom become even better at her vocation of homeschooling and raising her children. Now, I don't believe that you have to be a homeschool mom to participate in mother culture. All mothers, no matter how we educate our children, need to be able to nourish ourselves with wonderful ideas. We need time to be creative, to relax, and to just restore ourselves. So mother culture or a mother's quiet time can work for any mom. Motherhood can be really loud and really full and really demanding. And something that I've realized is if I don't take quiet time for myself, I end up running on empty. I really need to make sure that I am taking time to nourish myself, both physically and mentally. And today we're going to be talking about that mental nourishment that comes with a mother's quiet time. So I'm going to show you guys my mother's basket and what I currently have in it. Okay, so here it is. It's nothing fancy. It's a simple basket I got from Walmart. It's a Pioneer Woman basket, and I can easily move it around the house. Although these days it really just stays in here in my bedroom in my little corner that I've set up for myself. At one time when I was a nursing mother, it was like my nursing mother's corner. No longer nursing babies, so it's my quiet time corner just for myself to cozy up with my basket and my books and sit for a few minutes and nourish my mind with lots of wonderful ideas. So let's talk a little bit about what's in my mother's basket. So it's got several good books, and I tend to keep books from 3 different categories in the basket. I have stiff books, moderately easy books, and novels. I also like to keep my journals. I have 3 different journals I'll talk about in just a little bit. And I keep any projects I'm working on. I'm still working through my watercolor book. Sometimes if I have an embroidery project that I'm working on, I will keep that in there as well. It's just my little quiet time basket with all of my goodies that I've set aside for myself. I try to steal away for around 10 to 15 minutes each day and pick something out of the basket, whether I'm just going to read a chapter from one of my books, or I'm going to try to sketch something in my art journal, or I'm going to write something down in one of my journals. It's just a great way for me to escape for a few minutes and steal a little time for myself. I like to start my days with Bible time, so I am still using my Inspire journaling Bible. I've had it for years and years, as you can probably tell, and I read from it. I am using this everyday spiritual refreshment for women. It's like reading through the Bible in a year, so it has something encouraging for each day, and then it will tell you what to read for that day as well. So I try to do this in the morning I'll read this, and then I'll read my Bible, and then I'll say some of my prayers. In the last video I did about my mother culture basket, I shared some different prayer books that I have, and I still use those quite regularly actually. And then I will do a little bit of journaling also. And that's just what I try to do in the mornings before the day gets going and it gets super crazy, because it takes off and it gets kind of crazy around here. And it's definitely just like a balm to my soul to have that time to myself and with the Lord. And, you know, it just starts my day off right. And speaking of journaling, I'm going to show you my different journals that I do keep. So first of all, you're going to notice that these are not fancy, expensive journals. I have nothing against fancy, expensive journals. I'm just using things that have been given to me or that I picked up inexpensively. And eventually, once I fill these up, I'll probably replace them with something of a little higher quality, but they work for me for now. And you know, this is just to say that you don't have to spend a ton of money and buy the best of the best to start this Mother's Basket journey. You need to just start with where you are and use what you have available to you, and it will work out just fine. So first of all, I have a prayer journal, and this is where I write down all of my prayers. I also have this little mother's journal that was given to me, and it's a great place to write down funny things that the kids did or said, or different things that we've done together, just little milestones and things that I want to remember. I write those down here in this journal. And I do also have what I call my Commonplace journal, and it looks like this. This one was given to me as well, and it's actually really nice because it's personalized. And it says this journal belongs to Joni, and then it's by Paper Sunday if you're interested, and then each page is specifically addressed to me with something encouraging or a Bible scripture verse or something like that. So as far as commonplacing goes, this is where I like to write down poems that have inspired me, Bible verses that are really speaking to me, or different quotes from some of the books that I'm reading that I really want to remember. Commonplacing is a wonderful practice. It's something that I really want to do more of, so I'm trying to be a little bit more intentional, oh my goodness, trying to be a little bit more intentional about doing that practice, because it is definitely such a great practice. I also try to find pockets of quiet time, and I'll be honest that this does not happen for me every day in this season of life, just because we're out of the house multiple days a week and going and doing things. So I try to do it as often as I can when I have that quiet time. Whether it's when the kids are having their quiet time, or after lunch, or even before I go to bed. And that's when I reach for my Mother's Basket, and I'll pull out some of my books and try to read a chapter or two from those books just to nourish my soul. I think I mentioned in the last video that I did, sometimes it takes me a really long time to get through a book, and it's not something that I'm really excited about. I actually have a degree in English literature, so you would think that I would read books really fast, but I tend to not read them very fast. I usually have, as you can see from my morning basket, 3, 4, 5 different books going at a time, and I'll just read from whichever book I want to read from for that day. And then of course there are some days that I don't really get to read from my books at all. Of course, I'm always reading to my kids from their books, so I'm definitely still reading. But like I said, just whenever I can get those quiet pockets of time to sit here with my morning basket, that's when I'll do it. My goal is to be a lifelong learner. I want to do that for myself. I want to show my kids that they can also be lifelong learners. I want to read, and I want to create, and I want to do all of these things even when I'm an old lady. I still want to keep these practices in place. So I hope that today I have encouraged you. If you are on this same journey, you want to be a lifelong learner, you can create your own very simple mother's basket and have your own mother's quiet time. We're going to keep growing, we're going to keep learning, and this isn't just for ourselves. This also helps us to be better for our families and inspire our families as well. I know that when my cup is full and I'm feeling good, I can be a much better blessing to my family. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, maybe you don't need a huge overhaul of your life. Maybe you just need to create your own little mother's basket in your own little corner and just have something for yourself. And like I said, it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to have the best of the best materials. Just start with what you do have, gather them up, and then find little pockets of quiet time to sit down and read or journal or whatever it is that your heart is telling you that you need to do. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this peek into my mother culture routine or my mother's quiet time, I invite you to subscribe and also like this video. I'd love to have you hanging around here as we explore more different ways to simplify our lives as moms or homeschool moms, whatever that may be, whatever season of life you may be in. And also, if you already have a mother's basket, tell me what's in it. Or if this is something that you're planning to do in the future, tell me what you would like to add to it down in the comments. I'd love to know. Thanks so much. Bye.